Hello children, I hope you're all good and have been having lots of fun at home getting on with your activities. So today I'm going to be showing you how to do salt dough threading. But first we're going to make our salt dough, okay? But let me tell you all the ingredients you need first so you've got everything nice and ready. So we're going to need a big mixing bowl, a rolling pin, a baking tray, and I've lined my baking tray with some greaseproof baking paper, but if you don't have that at home, that's okay, you can use foil too. And underneath here I've got a chopping board, and here I've got some cookie cutters, but these are optional because you might not have them at home, but that's okay because I will be showing you how to make your own shapes if you don't have these at home. We're going to need something to poke holes with, so I have just got a really long kebab skewer, but you can use a toothpick or a pen, anything that you can find at home. Some string, but we're going to be using that later. Some water, a medium-sized mug, some salt, and some plain flour. So let's get on with making our salt dough. So I've got my mixing bowl here, I've got my mug, so I'm going to fill up my mug with some plain flour. Okay, so just one mug of plain flour. And then we're going to do half of our mug full of salt. So I've got my half mug full of salt. And then lastly we need to fill up our mug halfway with some water. And pour that in. And that is it. Now you might want to use a spoon for this part because it gets a bit messy, but I'm just going to use my hand, and I've got some some flour here, sorry, just in case it's still a bit too wet. And I'm just going to mix, and then I will show you what it looks like once I have finished mixing. So children, I have now finished mixing my dough, and this is what it looks like. It's all coming together nicely. It's a bit like when you make Play-Doh, if you make Play-Doh at home. Okay, so now we are all done. We can move our ingredients to the side, so we've got lots of space now, because we're going to need some space for this next part, okay? So we're going to grab our rolling pin, and we're going to grab our chopping board. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab some flour and sprinkle it onto our chopping board like this. And then we're going to bring our salt dough on here. And now we can put our chopping board, our mixing bowl to the side now because we're finished with it. And now you're going to roll out your salt dough, but you might need to sprinkle some on top because it's still a bit sticky. And also, children, if you haven't got a rolling pin at home, you can just use a bottle that you've got in your house and just wash it nicely, and you can use it just like a rolling pin. Okay, so now we have got our salt dough all rolled out. Let me just get these last little bits off my hand. Right, now this is where we grab our cookie cutters. So I've got lots of different shapes in here. So I think I'm going to pick a circle, a love heart, and I think I want a star. I'm wondering if I should pick another shape. I think I want this flower. And I'm going to use triangle. So I've got lots of different shapes. Okay, so now I'm just going to get my circle and cut it like this. And there we go. So that's my circle. Now I'm going to do a star. You can use any cookie cutters that you might have at home. And I'm going to do a love heart. You just push it through for it to come out on the other side. That's my love heart. A flower. And then I'm going to do a triangle. Okay, so if we haven't got any cookie cutters at home, that's okay. I'm going to show you how you can make some shapes without them. So you just want to grab a tiny piece of dough, just like this, and then you're going to roll it up like a sausage. And then you want to wrap it around just like this. And then you might have to get a bit of water to help it stick. See, it's a bit fiddly. Cut this out. Okay, yellow class, so I'm going to show you how to make some shapes if you don't have cookie cutters at home, okay? So I'll show you how to make a circle. So you just grab a piece of dough, just like this, roll it into a ball, roll, roll, roll. And then we've got a ball like this, and all we've got to do is flatten it. And there we go. Simple as that. We put that onto our baking sheet. Now I'll show you how to make a bigger circle if you want. And all we need is an egg cup, and you might find that in your cupboard at home. So all we've got to do is just press it down. And there we go. We've got a big circle. And we can make a triangle if you wanted to. So we just need a butter knife. Now you might need your adults at home to help you with this part, because we don't want to be playing around with knives by ourselves. So ask for some help. And then all we've got to do is we just cut some lines like this. And there we have our triangle shape. And I'm going to try and make a star now. Hopefully my star comes out okay, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And I've got my star. It's not the best shaped star, so I'm going to try and shape it a little bit better with my fingers. And there we have our own little handmade star. Now I bet you can do lots of different shapes at home. What kind of shapes can you think of that you can cut out? Right, now I'm going to finish doing all my shapes, and then I will show you what to do next. So, children, I have finished making all of my lovely shapes. So, now what I'm going to do is make some holes in it, like I've done with these ones here, because these are the holes that we're going to use for threading when these are finished cooking. Okay, so let me show you. So you grab your stick or whatever you can find at home that's about this size, and then you just have to push it through the middle like this, and then you just wiggle it around just to make the hole a bit bigger, and there you have it. Let me show you a few more times just so we can make sure you've got it. So you grab your shape, grab your stick, you push it through the middle, and then you just give it a little wiggle around, and then you've got your hole in the middle for threading. Okay, so now when you have finished all of those, we are going to bake them in the oven at 200 degrees for 1.5 hours, and that should make them firm up, and then we're going to come back and then we're going to decorate them. So I'll see you soon, yellow class. Bye. Hello again, children. I hope you're enjoying your day. So now I'm going to show you the second part of our salt dough beads activity. So I've now let my salt dough beads dry overnight, and now they're all cool and they look like this now. So they're very hard, so it's going to be perfect for our activity. So all you're going to need now is some string. If you don't have string, you can use ribbon or anything really that you can find that you can thread onto, and a pair of scissors, and that is it. So I'm going to be making a necklace with my salt dough beads, but you can make a bracelet, you can make a mobile to hang outside your house. There's all sorts of things that you can do. Okay, so before we get started, if you want to decorate your beads, you can do it now. So you can paint them, you can colour them in. The possibilities are endless, but I am not going to be decorating mine today because I don't have any paint and paintbrushes, unfortunately, but that's okay because we can still do our threading. So I'm going to measure up my string around my neck because I'm making a necklace. So let's see. So I want mine to be about this long. So yes, I'm going to cut it here. And make sure you get a grown-up to be with you to do this part, children. Okay, so I've got my string now. So I'm going to grab some beads. Some of mine, let me show you. I didn't make the hole big enough, so you can't even see the hole. So we're not going to use those ones. But that's okay, I made lots just in case that happened. And then we're going to start threading, and you can thread in any order you like, and you can get your counting in here too. Okay, so let me do it this way. Got 1, 2. Oh, let's see, I think this hole might be a bit too small. Will it go through? Just about. Oh no, that hole's a bit too small. Let's see, I think my star one should be okay. I'm going to snip this off because you can see now the ends are a bit frayed. That's what that's called. So I'm just going to snip it off just a little bit. And look, much better. Some of these holes are really small. Sometimes they pop up a little bit in the oven. But I managed to get it through, okay? So, I am going to do the rest of my threading now. And then I will show you what it looks like when I'm finished. Hi children, I'm back and I've done my necklace. I didn't put too many on because it was getting a bit heavy. But now you can do your counting now that you finished. So I can see I've got 1, 2 stars on here. 1, 2, 3 big circles and 1 small circle. Now I'm sure you can do much better counting than that. So I hope you have fun making your necklaces or your bracelets or your mobiles, and happy counting. Bye bye.